when the covert narcissist expects you to off yourself. What does it mean when they say what they say? Well, you gotta understand that you're dealing with someone that is abusive and toxic. So they will say and do anything that they know is gonna hurt you, while also projecting an illusion that they wanna keep you under. The fact that they expect you to off yourself, the moment that they leave you, break your heart, it tells you everything you need to know about that person. If that's not an inflated ego, I don't know what is, because these people really thought that you would never be able to move on with your life without them, because they think they're that important. They think they're that significant, because they wanted to create the illusion that they were. You see, it's a reason why these covert narcissists, when they choose their victims, they always pick those who have an insecure attachment style, or those who have childhood wounds. They'll try their best to really find out your weaknesses and capitalize off of it. If they can get at your weaknesses or get you during a vulnerable time in your life, they can slither into your life and essentially end up destroying it. So there's so many different ways. That's why you have to be aware of this. You have to know your surroundings and the people that you allow into your life. They're so into themselves, they're so self-absorbed, that they really think that they're so important that you would take your life just because they no longer want to be in it. How disgusting and deplorable is that? And you know another thing that tells you? Another thing that should tell you is that they know that all the pain that they've inflicted on you was indeed enough to take someone out. That's another form of closure. Now, they may not intend to give you closure. That may not be the reason why they said that. But in a way, it is. If you really shift your perspective, they're basically letting you know that they're very aware that all of the fuck shit that they've done to you was so messed up, it would be enough to take a person out, because it probably would have took them out if they were in your shoes. Because the fact of the reality is, everything that they do to you, that's a reflection on what would hurt them. But they do it to you because they want to have the upper hand. They want to feel like they're always above you, that they always have leverage, because deep down, they're the ones with those insecurities, those fears. They're the ones with the abandonment issues, but they want to put that on you, make you feel that way. But they want to make sure that they break you down piece by piece so that they can control you, and that way you carry their burden. Now, there's two different times when a covert narcissist will come to you to make that statement, and one of them is during the discard phase. So this is the part where they decide that they break your heart, right? They want to get rid of you, and so they let you know, oh well, don't off yourself, as a form of mockery. That is the ultimate disrespect, because they're letting you know, they're telling you how they feel about you, or at least I should say, they're telling you that's like the last word curse. Because it's almost like they know that what they've done to you is so messed up that it's enough for you to give up on life, because of the fact that you were once codependent. And also you have childhood wounds. Usually people who have a mother wound or a father wound, those tend to be people that they like to target, because they know that they can play the surrogate mommy or daddy. You know, it's that way the love bombing is more intense, which solidifies the trauma bond, making it easier to control you. But see, what they fail to realize is that it only works on a person that is unhealed and unawakened, because we have wounds. And guess what? When you heal and when you open your spiritual eyes and you become aware of narcissistic abuse and the spiritual warfare that is intertwined with that, they cannot manipulate you because you know too much and now they fear you. Here's the thing. During the discard phase, when they bring that up, so in the last interaction that you had with them, they left you with that thought. And then they leave you high and dry. Now, how fucked up is that? You're already heartbroken. You probably found out about some, cheating that they've done. You were betrayed. Or maybe they try to make you feel like you're not good enough. Oh, yeah, they're not happy, whatever, what have you. Here's the thing, man. The covert narcissist is never satisfied. So you need to understand that you could have done everything for these people. I mean, they're never satisfied, but they're going to try to put that on you because essentially these are insatiable, soulless creatures. And you cannot satisfy that. But rather than them working on themselves, they'd rather put that burden on you and they leave you with that last impression. The thought of, oh, don't off yourself, because they think that they have so much power over you. And maybe at one point they did. At one point they did have that. And the truth is that they really don't have any power. They only had that because you gave them that power by being codependent on them, and you wanted that love from them, thinking that they could give you what you didn't get growing up. The heartbreak is painful because, for one, you were dealing with a covert narcissist that knew all of your weaknesses and they capitalized off of it, and also they took advantage of your unhealed childhood traumas. Them leaving your life is the catalyst for you to finally heal and to awaken and to realize what the root of the problem is. And then you're going to find out that the covert narcissist really wasn't as attractive as you thought they were. They really weren't that great. It was just the fact that you were lacking a mother figure, and they came with that illusion because it was fake. Let me tell you that the love bombing is fake as fuck. And I'm going to tell you this right now. During the love bombing phase, you might think, oh, they love me. You feel like they love you. That's actually the time when they hate you the most. Yeah. The love bombing stage is the stage where they hate you the most because they have to put in all of this work just to keep you. Because in reality, they only want to keep you so they can abuse you. So a person that just wants to abuse you, clearly they don't love you. Which means that why the fuck would the love bombing stage be enjoyable to them? It's meant to put you back to sleep. That's not love. So in essence, this person never loved you. They only used the love bombing tactics to keep you stuck with them because they really enjoy devaluing you and discarding you and then repeating the cycle over and over again. See, that's the thing. That's why people say, don't talk about your traumas to people when you first meet them, because you don't know who you're dealing with. And when they know your weaknesses and you're unhealed, you're giving them a blueprint on how to destroy you. Because you're not dealing with a person that is operating off of your frequency. That's how powerless they are. Another time when you'll expect a covert narcissist to bring up how they thought that you would off yourself is not only during the discard, which is a very painful time, but also when they try to hoover back into your life. That's another time. When they try to come back into your life, and it's been a while, you must understand that you never want to go back to the person that hurt you. I always told myself in my younger years that you never ever go back to a man who hurt you. It's not bitterness, it's wisdom. Because even if they did change, the fuck that got to do with me? Too much damage has been done, and you can never see that person the same. And also, sometimes your absence is needed for them to change if they change, but ultimately it's not your job to change them. They have to want that, and it's crazy because sometimes they have to lose you forever for them to do that. And in some cases, even if they do lose you, they still don't change because they don't have the empathy, they don't self-reflect, They never think they're wrong about anything. So what makes you think that somebody with a narcissistic personality traits is going to ever acknowledge the fact that they've done anything wrong? It's a waste of time trying to wait on them to realize the damage that they've done. So when they try to hoover back into your life, they may or may not apologize. And if they do, it's fake. They try to act like they care. It's a bait. That's all it is. These people are sick. They play with your head. They'll even play with the concept of a person offing themselves. How disgusting is that? Really think about what kind of individual you're dealing with that's going to make a joke out of somebody offing themselves because that's supposed to give them an ego boost. Like, yeah, they feel so good about the fact that a person was so hurt that they left their life, that they decided to end their own life. They decided to off themselves. That gives them an ego boost. It makes them feel good about themselves because it feeds into that illusion of them being grandiose. How disgusting is that shit? Do you really miss that? Do you really want that back? That should tell you everything you need to know about that person. They came with that fake ass, oh, hey, how you been? I'm so, I don't feel too good. I'm sorry. I would have thought you would have offed yourself. That's a fake apology. And then given the history of the individual, I mean, come on, if a covert narcissist ever comes to you, whether during the discard phase or when they hoover back into your life to check and see if you're still alive, that should tell you everything you need to know about that person and the fact that you should forever block them. Don't ever talk to this person again because they clearly don't give a fuck. What are they telling you when they come up to you with that? Is that they know that deep down what they've done to you is enough to take someone out. They know that what they've done to you was fucked up and so soul shattering to the point that they're pretty much admitting that they have been abusing you. Because why would they bring that up? Oh, I would have thought you would have offed yourself. Because since they left your life. That right there is the closest thing to closure that you'll ever get from them. The same person that has been destroying you piece by piece is laughing at you because they know that you're so codependent on them. You're so unawakened to your value that they feel like they've got you wrapped around their finger. So when they say that, oh, don't off yourself, that gives them the ultimate high. That makes them feel so good because they know that they have ultimately gained control of your life, because now they feel like, oh, they got the control of whether or not you want to stay alive. Now, how disgusting is that? How despicable is that? Do you want that person in your life? I hope not. They clearly don't care about you. They're only using you as a prop to prop them up, basically, to make them feel good about themselves. They think that in their minds that, oh, if they leave their life, this person is going to crumble and possibly off themselves, and that gives them the ultimate high. That makes them feel aroused. If that ain't witchcraft, I don't know what is, because that is wicked. It's almost like these individuals, the covert narcissists, they select not only people with childhood traumas, gentlemen who have mother wounds, ladies who have father wounds, people who come from nothing, people who were deprived of love, people who have been abandoned in their childhood, people who have been emotionally neglected or abused throughout their life and in their early years. And they know this, and they look at it as, instead of an opportunity to love that person, to grow with them, to help them heal, no, they pick those people so that they can destroy them, because they see them as, because you were deprived of love throughout your life, that when you found someone that you thought was the one, you find out that person was a covert narcissist. And you fell in love with them. You didn't know any better, and you need to forgive yourself for falling for the trap. Because covert narcissists, they know how to hide. You learn so much about narcissistic abuse to such an extent that narcissists become so fucking lame to you because it's the same old tactic. And it's pathetic because now you understand where it's coming from. It's coming from the fact that they're insecure as hell. They're way more insecure than you've ever been. Even when you were broken, even during your broken state, you were still a stronger person, a better person than they ever were. Because at the end of the day, they chose to be a piece of shit. And you chose to become a better person, despite the wounds that you had. And they kind of hate that about you too, because you're a living testimony. When they know that you have childhood traumas, and you still had the courage to love, you still had the pureness inside to genuinely love this person, just so that they can destroy you in return, man, do you know how much bad karma they're gonna have for doing you like that? And then coming back around to say, give you that fake ass apology, hoping they could possibly love bomb you, trying to test the waters to see if you're still not aware of who the fuck they are. And then they want to come to you with, I would have thought you would have offed yourself. Oh, I feel bad about what I did. No, the fuck you don't. And if you do, I don't give a fuck. And that's how you need to be. That's not bitterness, that's wisdom. Because once upon a time, you gave this person chance after chance after chance because you thought to yourself, let me give them a benefit of the doubt. You know, especially when you're young, you know, like, oh, we were young and dumb, let's forgive, you know, whatever, right? But then they keep doing it, they keep doing it, they keep doing it. All right. You know, some people forgive the narcissist after they cheat. Now, cheating is a deal breaker for me. Like, the moment someone cheats on me, I'm done. No conversation. I don't give a fuck. Because ultimately, they don't give a fuck. And they will show you how much they don't give a fuck. And you guys know what I mean. It's just certain people in your life that came and you learned something from them. And when you catch on to these patterns, man, it's like, once you've seen it, you've seen it, and that's it. You know, you can't go back, and you should not go back. I'm telling you, because you've given them enough grace. You've given them enough of you actually have given more than what was required of you. So what the fuck are we doing even considering talking to this person? Like, at this point, they don't deserve your energy. They don't even deserve to hear a word from you. You have to accept the truth for what it is. Put all of that together and really see the fact that how despicable of a person they are. Because not only are, like, think about how self-absorbed someone has to be to think that you're just going to end your own life just because you can't be with them. Now, in some cases, unfortunately, there are people that have offed themselves because of a heartbreak that they felt like the pain would never leave, and they already carry a lot of pain from the past, and they didn't. The narcissist, the person didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? And you cannot expect them to, but you need to be the one that does. So even when they leave your life, you need to be the one that still cares about themselves. You need to love you, even if they don't. Here's the thing: they never did. They never loved you. Does that mean you stop loving yourself? No. Actually, the best way to deal with these people is to not deal with them at all. And if they ever try to come back into your life, you got to understand everything that I just said in this video. If all of this resonates with you, understand that you're definitely dealing with a covert narcissist, someone who is highly manipulative, emotionally and psychologically abusive, a person that cannot be trusted. And again, you've already given them chance after chance after chance. So it's safe to say that you've already done everything in your power to make things work. And clearly, they don't want it to work. They really don't. Because they don't want to get right. The only way that something can work is if you get right. Sever the trauma bond. And information like this is very helpful in your healing journey. Because now you're like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. You think clearly, you know, because see, like I said, the love bombing, what's the one thing that confuses people is the love bombing. Oh, they do love me. No, the fuck they don't. If they have abused you, if abuse comes in, see, abuse comes in a pattern, you see, because they know. They know they got to sink their claws into you. They know they got to reel you in. you know? Because if you knew from the beginning what you were getting yourself into, then you wouldn't even bother. And we're also talking about covert narcissists, so they're a bit more trickier to spot for most people. You gotta actually go through the fire with them and come out to really see it. And a lot of times they like to use religion and spirituality to gain your trust, to make you think that, oh yeah, they're so good, and they're really not, I'm telling you. But you gotta go through it first, because it takes time for you to really see who they really are, because they don't show it up front. But once you know, there's gonna be little things that'll pop up to you, you know? They have no idea what we've seen. You extract the insight out of this. The love bombing was fake. The entire time, man, they live a miserable existence. You gotta understand that. They're never happy with anything. The only thing that brings them joy is to see if you might have offed yourself, because they walked out of your life. And that's supposed to validate their sense of superiority over another human being. That is disgusting and despicable. And that should be enough for you to realize you are dealing with someone that is demonic. Someone who is so full of themselves. How unattractive is that? And that should be enough for you to sever all attraction, all ties, all, trauma bond, whatever. That should be enough to break all of that into pieces right now. Because when you realize that, it's like, wow, this person is disgusting. This person is not attractive. They don't have not one attractive trait about them. And when you realize that, you become free, so that once you realize that part, and also they never loved you, it doesn't hurt, because you're like, well, shit, that don't have nothing to do with me. That just lets me know that I've been dealing with a soulless being. That's it. That's all. That don't got nothing to do with you. This person is not as strong as you. They don't have the traits that you have to be able to transform into a more powerful being of that can emanate love themselves and love those around them. See, they want to break you down. They break you down so much because they hate the fact that you have that light, especially if you come from nothing and you have a lot of traumas, but you still found a way to become great, and they hate that. So do me a favor. The best thing you can do is live your best life. Do what you love. Reconnect with your talents, gifts, things that you love to do. You control the narrative of your life. And it's time for you to realize that, and for you to recreate your life by recreating yourself, upgrading everything around you, taking care of yourself. All that love you gave to the soulless person, give it to yourself, because I guarantee you will not be disappointed with whatever you have to offer when you offer it to yourself. Use that love that you have within to serve as a medicinal spiritual cure that they fucking reject. But you can take that and become a more powerful person that literally you're going to be glowing so much to the point they're going to want to hoover back. And then when they hoover back, you already know. I thought you would have offed yourself. You ain't that important. Or better yet, you ain't important at all. Whenever they try to hoover, if they do, sometimes they don't, because they know you don't play that shit. They know you're a completely different person now. You're still the same person, but you have this demeanor now that comes off as very militant. And I take no shit, and I already know who the fuck you are. And when they know that they ain't shit, they're not going to want to step up to you. Trust me, they're afraid. They don't want that smoke. Because they know that if they even think about hoovering you, they know that you're gonna tell them everything about themselves. You're gonna tell them to fuck off. You're gonna reject them. And that's gonna leave a narcissistic injury. They're already injured and damaged by the fact that you rose above all of that. They're already in a world of hurt when they see that you were able to move on and love your life, and your life became way better without them. Do you know how painful that is for a narcissist when they see how great your life is without them? It's almost like they never existed. And let me tell you something. You can show them better than you can tell them when you demonstrate how amazing your life is without them. What a better way to let them know how irrelevant they are. What a better way to make them feel like they've never existed. And that right there is how you hurt the narcissist. That right there is how to deal with them, is by not dealing with them at all, but investing into yourself to such a degree that the next time they see you, they're going to see somebody glowing, somebody that they could never have, somebody that they try to break. But guess what? You're probably in a relationship with someone that's way better in all areas, someone that actually loves you. And even if you don't have a person with you, the act of you being happy with yourself, you know, you're making more money now. You never made this much money before. Maybe they thought you would always be at the bottom, but now you're being blessed financially, or you're being blessed spiritually. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot to offer. You have a powerful voice. You have gifts and talents that you're showing to the world. And now they get to witness that, but they could never have access to you like they did once upon a time. They used to have VIP access to your energy, and now they pretty much fucked it all up. And guess what? They're the dumbass that has to live with that. And that's okay, because we don't care. And when you are able to live when you're able to create an amazing life for yourself, despite all of the pain that you've been through, that's going to kill them more than anything. You don't even have to say shit. Even if they attempt to hoover, which a lot of times they might not even try that, because again, they're going to be hurt. They know that because you're too powerful now. But if they do, you don't even have to say anything, to be honest, because your life will speak for itself. The best thing you could do is block them and never respond to their messages ever again. That is literally the best way to handle it, because I'm telling you, when they see how amazing your life is, it's going to show how irrelevant they are. And that right there is going to crush them. They're going to see how you turned out to be successful in every way. And you're still a good person. You're a motivational and inspirational person. And guess what? You did not allow their pain to corrupt you. You still kept your integrity and honor intact, and you still have if anything, you have a stronger faith in God now. So now you have way more power, way more spiritual energy that they have no access to, while they're miserable in their own bubble of darkness. You're over here glowing with divine, radiant light that they could never touch. They will never feel your affection. They will never hear you speak to them directly, you know, like they're not going to have that access to you to that those conversations, you know, those conversations that it's going to be so many things they're going to miss about you. And the fact that your life has upgraded ever since they left, that's going to crush their ego to such an extent that they're going to be like, it's like I never existed. Exactly. That's the point, because you're nothing. They're going to really feel that. And I'm telling you, you don't even have to say nothing. You don't got to do nothing. All you got to do is keep feeding yourself that spiritual fuel. Get it from God. Ask God to restore you. And then keep giving yourself that self-care, that love. The love they rejected, guess what? You give it to yourself. Accept it. Accept what they rejected. They rejected your love. You accept it. And you say, you know what? Just because this person doesn't value me, doesn't mean I can't value me. And you continue to move forward. And that is all I have to say. You know, this is a long video, but I'm so glad for all you guys that stuck around and listened to the whole thing. I really hope that you are able to heal. And I hope that this has helped you. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to share my insight and my energy with you all. And I thank you so much for listening.